Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Live at your mama's house, I'm Slidewhistle.
What are we doing here? I'm Immunization.
And I'm Edward Gamble, treasurer of the Stormwind City. Just kidding! I pranked you! You just got pranked! That's Aaron, Fire Magic's Extraordinary Hard Punching Guy.
What's up?
Prank my dad.
Ashton.
Hey. Raid the world to first, race to first, world is done.
Raid to world to first to raid to race to world first.
Finish, complete.
Dunzo. I don't even know who won. I don't really care. I mean, but like, I guess it was interesting to me though that like it took a lot longer than it normally does, and there were some tough bosses in there. Was it Echo that won?
Uno mas, actually. April Fools!
Yeah! We tricked you again! You got fooled again, dummies! It was someone else. It wasn't Pieces. And I was, for whatever reason, I'm just like, let's go Pieces! Even though they weren't even on the board this time.
Echo won first place. Second place was...
Limit?
No, Limit has not cleared it yet. Limit is not second place, or are they third place? Third place is, Oh, second place was Method, and third place was Skyline, which I think is a Chinese guild.
Skyline High School in Ann Arbor, Michigan?
Yeah, they're up there. You know, they have an esports team now, in particular, a race to world to first team.
I can believe it. That building was huge.
I guess Limit, or Liquid, whatever they're going being called now, they gave up the race, basically... like before it even ended. I heard
that because the other people had a 0.6% left pull, and they were just like, we're not gonna be. They're just gonna get it next time.
Yeah, they're packed their bags up. I guess a lot of them are burned out, but also I really wonder how much of it was American PTO running out, because they usually take time off for this stuff. And we went to like day 17, and we don't. That's like, all right, your bank's empty now.
Yeah, I was reading that, like, I think I was reading, like, they're like, yeah, one of our main tanks has to go back to work now. I mean, not like, they probably have, like, a million, like, capable tanks. Well, not a million, but at least several.
Losing your main, like, your big tank, like, that sucks. It's interesting. I mean, like, I don't know, I think I like it better this way. Not to say that, like, I don't like that people are being psychologically tortured because they keep hitting the same raid wall over and over again, because that sucks. But, like, it was an exciting race. I was watching it at work. I didn't get to see not one fucking kill like last time, so I was bummed about that. But, I don't know. I feel like a slugfest.
You know, and I appreciate that, like, bosses and the raid tier in general took a little bit longer. I mean, it's kind of boring if they just kill all of them really fast back-to-back, right?
Yeah, I like the challenging aspect of it. I say ramp it up even more.
Oh, God.
I want the days of, like, Vanilla or Wrath where it's like, heroic Garbledon didn't die for the first 78 days.
That shit's wild to me. That some of these old bosses stood for, like, a full, like, year and some change.
Wasn't Ragnaros one of them? It was 45, and people were like, 45!
I want to pull up a list now, but I feel like we can do that later, because we should talk about what we did in raid, and we did our own race to first to world to race to first raid.
Yeah, our team in particular, the slow team here, we are on the jailer now, so we downed Rygalon, and it didn't really take that long. I mean, like, this week was our first real week where we had a substantial amount of time on it. We just had like a few pulls last week, I feel like. And, you know, we got strategy down in, what was it, like 5 pulls maybe we got them?
Yeah, it was not tough, like, at all. Other than just 3 or 4 DPS would die, so we'd get to the end and be like, you're not fast enough. So all it was just them not dying.
I'm trying to think. This is still pretty fast for our raid group, though, right? The fact that we're on the final boss of normal, like, 3 weeks in? 4 weeks in?
Yeah, 4 weeks in, I believe, because we stopped at, for whatever reason I remember this, 4, 7, 9, and 10, respectively.
And like Slide and I were talking about this yesterday too, and the other group is the disparity between our two groups is the largest it's ever been. They have like really, really serious, good people over there, like a lot of them, and we have some more casual people here, and it's whatever. But I was saying, like, regardless of how fast they're going, I feel like our group is going faster than we normally do, even. Like, so I'm proud of us, but it just is funny, like, the disparity.
That double legendary, and they've been really, really nerfing the hell out of this raid. We're just, like, kind of cruising. Like, the fact that we made a jailer pull, and how low did we get the jailer? Like, we got him to, like...
It was like 60 or like 55 or something. It was surprisingly low for the final boss.
Yeah, I feel like we'll get him next week, I do think. I also feel like on our first night of the week, we were slow, weren't we? Like, it took us forever to pull things. I was like, what are we doing here? Come on, let's go. We're going to run out of time.
Yeah, I feel like we've been super slow. Like, I think next week I'm going to do a timer and just see how much time we actually, like, do pulling the boss.
It gets... it takes a long time to get revved up now. Like, people start showing up for East Coast, 9:30. Some people are in there. 9:45, like 6 more people show up. 10, like 2 more people show up. Some healers don't show up until like 11, and it's just like, oh, hey, guys, sorry. Bim bim bom.
You know what's funny, though?
Big Ben and such.
You know what's funny, though? Like, in guild chat after raid, did you see what he posted?
No.
Oh yeah. Okay, so our holy Pally Cynical is always late, but it's because
love him, but he's consistently late.
It's because he's making his wife dinner, was what he normally was doing, but I think now he has a new job, so now he doesn't get home until like 45. So he's like super late, like trying to catch up. And he was saying, he posted in a guild chat, he's like, yeah, my wife said I need to get a new guild, so she's trying to find me one so I can make her dinner again. She's actively guild hunting for him.
God, what would that have? Was it just, I wonder, would it be a guild that just knows to start later? Or would it have to be like an oceanic guild where the time zone is so funked that they're like, oh, it's only 5 p.m. here?
Yeah, it probably just had to be like a later weird rating. But then he was saying how he was trying to explain to her how you can't just join a new group like that. He's like, I know these people. Also, like, other people probably won't want me when they see me dead.
I mean, and like, he's been a staple of our guild. I mean, he's been raiding with our guild since before we even joined, right? I think he's been there since the beginning.
Yeah, he's been there for a long time. It was just funny that she's like, you gotta find a new guild.
I'm also interested that if she took it upon herself to find a new guild, is she a WoW person? Is she logging into his account and being like, hey, big boys, don't you want me on your raiding team?
She's like rolling up her pant leg on her like paladin banana armor, like, look at me.
he's like, Bethany, what are you doing? And it's like, Steven, get out of here. I'm tonight's the night. I'm finding you someone. I'm flirting with all these boys until one of them brings you on.
She just like takes his character and like walks around Orbos and like types in like /say like looking for a new guild that raids later than this time Pacific.
I would love that. But I like and I don't like the jailer fight. I feel like this raid fight is very, very mean to feral druids. It's cruel. Like so that there's holes everywhere. And when you get a rune,
which is kind of silly to me. I don't know. And I know they're just making it interesting. It's kind of silly that Zaval's like, come fight me on the throne of the first ones, this Swiss cheese floor. And like you're backpedaling to throw fireballs at him, you just kind of scoot out. And he's like, oh, you fell down the floor.
Did you guys see that funny clip of, I think it was like on someone's stream, like one of the mythic teams or whatever, like it bugged out and they pulled the jailer and he walked forward and then he like fell through one of the holes.
Whoa! Champion, you did it. You saved us.
He fucking mouse trapped himself. Oh, well, it was my board. He's
just sitting there in his striped one-piece bathing suit as a big clickety cage comes down on him. Oh no!
It is
But
very
why
silly.
why is it mean to ferals?
Oh, so because when you have you gotten a rune on you yet that they had to bring into a hole?
Yes, I have.
So when you
Which,
go
which,
into
which,
a
by the way, they're like, oh, just remember, Maiden of Virtue, and I got PTSD because that was the
oh my
one that
god,
I would always get bullied on and get sad on. So I was like, I know that fight.
I was gonna say that was not your fight.
It wasn't any of our fights. We were like, as a team, collectively, we were a lot worse back then, and I think we were stuck progging on that boss for what felt like months, honestly.
It honestly may have been months. That was brutal. It was very much the same energy of Nithendra, the first boss in Emerald Nightmare, where we just could not kill her because we did not have the damage to do so. Anyway, so when you jump into this hole, you get shot up, and then you weirdly slow fall. You don't like slow fall, but like you fall at a slower rate than normal. And because when you're in cat form, it's really hard to tell what the center of your body is because you're so fucking long. So like I'm not sure like if my front paws are where my feet are as a human or if my back paws are. I'm assuming it's a middle wedge. And so landing is actually way different than if I was in a regular human form. And so sometimes I can overshoot it because it feels like it's momentum based. It feels like if I run into this hole really fast, I shoot out of the hole really fast. I'm one of the fastest things in the game. The items, feral cats, naturally just like super fast. So I'm like shooting fucking far across the map, and I'm like, is this a bug? Is this just how cats work? Like, I don't like this. So whenever I get rune on me, I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna die.
Can you like wild charge down to Zoval?
I can, but I have to be close enough, and so I always try to get like one of the holes around him. But we had some weird pulls because like the tanks don't know. It's the first time seeing this fight. They were fighting Zoval on the opposite side of all of the holes. All the ones near us had been sealed. So like I think Aaron, you had it once where you had to like run the fuck out and you had to go find a hole, and I had to do that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah, it was also, I guess, just because I was far. But instead of finding one near Zoval, because they had all been plugged, I had to go, like, on the other side of the platform. And that's when I put it together that, like, it makes the pillars you need to hide behind. And I was like, well, we're going to die here because this pillar is not useful. It will save me and no one else.
It's also interesting because a few people asked if you could jump into the same hole with somebody else, and like the answer is technically yes, but you need to do it like at the same time because, as you just said, when you jump in and you launch out, then a giant pillar comes down from the sky and fills the hole. And Pablo tried to go into one that Paliath had gone into, and Paliath launched out, and Pablo was in the process of being launched out, and then it was this large pillar comes down and spikes Pablo so fast back down into the hole, and then he dies instantly.
It's so good. It's weird. And then the tanks have to destroy the pillars. Now, this is my favorite fun fact. Do you guys remember when the tanks didn't destroy all the pillars and we had one left and we wiped at like our lowest percentage?
Vaguely.
That was my pillar. Because there was no holes nearby. So I had to run all the way and I had to make a choice. Do I run with everybody else or do I run away from everybody else? And in a panic, I ran away from everybody else. Because I'm like, well, I'm faster this way. It'll be clearer. There's less holes. So I put my pillar in a really bad spot because I didn't realize the tanks had to destroy those pillars.
I thought those pillars were different than the ones that were in the first phase. Or do we spawn where those ones are? The ones that the tanks have to go to in phase 2 to destroy?
I don't know. But I saw my pillar up still over there. And so maybe I am... Maybe you're right. Maybe it wasn't my fault. All right.
I actually don't think it is.
He said,
but...
earned vindication. Fuck you guys. Do your jobs.
I did great.
This team's gonna do great.
You're gonna do great. Me and Immune killed this boss with lots of jobs over the weekend, and I was not alive for any of the pulls. I fucking fell into that goddamn hole every single pull. They rezzed me at one point, and I was like, "No, please, don't res me."
This isn't on Wild Seed, right? It's on your Paladin.
No, it's on Wild Seed. It's on my Druid.
Oh, I apologize. I thought you were Floppy over there, and you were Wild Seed with us.
So I play Floppy when I'm if it's a boss that I've already killed, then I'll do a paladin, and so my paladin.
I see.
But I actually took him all the way up past. I took him to Rygalon. I took him to Lords of Dread, even though my druid hadn't killed the Rygalon. Anyways, yeah, I always mix and match them. But I died every single time. They res me, and I died again. I'm like, these holes just fucking get me.
It's tricky too, because if you need to like position yourself, because I think it launches you out of the hole where your back was faced, I think. So like if you are aimed directly at another open hole, you will probably fall directly into another hole as well if you don't have another way to like bounce out. Like I had to disengage a few times. Or if your back is faced off the edge, you could potentially be launched off the platform entirely.
Oh my god. Did you guys see okay, so we also killed Rygalon, and there's a slight knockback on that one too. Was that the one that Myth got knocked off the map on?
Yeah. Oh no, Lords of Dread as well, I think. But I think Rygalon as well. I don't know how you get knocked off of Lords of Dread, but like I don't know.
Why do the last three bosses have like fall off things? Like that's just mean. Like that is jailer mean.
Like, Jailer's Oval falling is part of the mechanics. The other two, it's just like it's in a big floating circle. They don't have walls exclusively just to be rude.
I honestly did not think we were going to be able to kill Rygalon, because when I saw that we only had 2 dead, and the 2 that were dead were like 2 people that normally don't do a lot of DPS in the first place, which is, whatever. That's what our group is. I was like, okay, well, we got up to like 10%, and those 2 are dead. I was like, it was 20% with those 2 dead, and I'm like, we're not gonna get 20% with them alive. What are we doing? But we did no one die on our last Rygalon pull? Like that was a clean kill, right?
I think or
so.
like one
or
person died.
Maybe somebody's res too, because I think at the end all of us were alive though, so it was solid, and that's what we needed. I also got more used to like how to properly use wild spirits to get maximum damage, because like during the first like 2 or 3 pulls, I was like, well, do I use this for the little quasars? Is that what they're called? And I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, so when do I use this? And then the tanks are moving Rygalon, so I'm like, I need to figure out the proper time to get maximum wild spirits damage.
You know what I realized? I realized we should probably open up like our raid segment with what we play, because like people who listen know, but like if you're kind of like new and I'm talking, you don't know what the fuck I'm playing. Like what does he mean playing? He's a hunter, but what is he doing? Who knows?
Well, you see, that's why I've been introducing myself as such for 170-ish episodes.
Aaron's got it down.
The fans are never confused, except that I have started saying it like Fire Magic's Horde Punching Bag. So maybe they are now re-confused. Fire Mage.
I should be like, I should start opening the episodes by saying like, it's Immunization. You know, that's the name of my holy priest, but in our guild, I'm playing Metaloid, my Pandaren Beastmaster Hunter, that's Night Fae, so...
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue.
That's
my new
opener there, you know?
Hey everybody, I'm Slidewhistle, named based off of a demon hunter, but I'm actually currently playing Wild Seed, a feral druid, and also playing Falafels, the Ret Paladin, which is my real name, but I won't tell you what that is unless you know me in the guild. Wink, wink,
Honestly, Flopples would be a good name.
Okay, yo, it's I don't know, have I mentioned this already? How people using my name in Dr. Jobs' raid is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy to me, too.
Because they're saying, hey,
they're like, hey,
your God-given name.
I mean, whatever. Like, at this point, whatever. It's like, Felipe, move, go over there. Res Felipe. And I'm like, I can't do this. I have to leave. This is weird.
And so he left. This is the episode that we announce it. I'm so sorry, Heavy. We're all gone.
Heavy's got a new guild now. He's with Eternal Kingdom. We got this little snake of connections going all the way to Kalis, and we have a connection.
You know, it's really funny. I feel like the longer we've been involved on Proudmoore, the more like I'm like, I know people in all these guilds, and like I see the same people around in places. It's kind of cool. I like it.
Do you guys ever see Niemals? Niemals. He's a Worgen rogue. He is a
Well,
big.
no, I don't see him because he's invisible. He's a rogue.
No, but that's the thing. I see him in Orbos all the time, and whenever I see him, I'm like, why do I know your name? It's because Niemals constantly does the Bob is drinking Proudmoore server meme.
Ooh.
And I see him, and I'm like, Niemals, like, what's up? But like, I put so many characters that like, I don't have like a one that's based anywhere. So I'm trying to get a rep built up. My bad boy's my paladin. He says mean things to people.
It's funny because, like, I always see people that I know, like, from Dogs with Jobs or other places, but then I'm like, it's on a night when I'm on, like, my hunter for raid or something, so I'm like, they won't know who that Metaloid is me. But, like, the only person I always run into is, like, Zagoy and I always run into each other when I'm on my priest, and then, like, we have this thing now where it's just, like, whenever we see each other, we just, like, blow all of our cooldowns, cast a bunch of spells on each other, and, like, use a bunch of toys and, like, run around each other. It is funny, like earlier this week, I cast like the rainbow generator on him, and he like started running away to like make it look bigger, and then he used, is it a toy or something that puts you on a mall rat that makes you start moving faster?
Oh, okay. So he's having you riding the shard hide. It's the Corthia thing.
Yeah, that's it. But we didn't know that like that breaks the rainbow. It just made it disappear. So then I'm like, wow, Zagoy, that was pretty homophobic of you.
You heard it here first, everybody. Zagoy, homophobe.
Cancel.
He was like, no, it's a shard hide, I swear. And I'm like, okay, that adds up. The shard hide would be homophobic.
And I love that. And it sucks that people on smaller servers don't get this, right? Because remember, they were going to merge us with some dirty servers. And we were like, don't you fucking merge us. Keep us with Proud Morians. Because that's all I see. And I don't know. You two aren't as tuned into trade chat, but do you guys notice Cataricus at all? The druid?
All the time. And I always see them too, because they're always on their yak up by the flight path on the top of Orbos.
I was just going to say Cataricus. Okay, Cataricus is trying to be the new Viserion, the guy on the pink flamingo who dances at the auction house in Stormwind. Have you seen him before? He like stands like right on
of course,
the ledge.
yes. By the way, he used to stream that too. I watched one of his streams one time.
Well, he quit the game with Manipause, so...
I was going to say Cataricus or whatever was trying to be the new Manipause because they're always in chat, always talking about everything.
If Cataricus is trying to be the new Manipause, I will say they are 1,000 times % better. They ask great questions. They don't have an agenda. They just simply want people to talk in trade chat, and they want people to know who they are. And I see you, Cataricus.
Do you have a Denny's item picked out that you send to them yet?
Not yet.
Are you testing the waters? You're like, medium pancakes. And like, I don't know what that means. It's like, oh, fuck. I'll try again tomorrow.
You know what's funny though, that literally yesterday they were in Orbos chat and they said, does anyone remember Scatman John? And I'm like, duh, like Scatman's World, right? That one, yes.
Sorry, I'm a big Scatman John fan. They're all jumbled in my head.
Have you ever heard the audio of him falling down the stairs at the Cecil Theater in New York?
Yes. But yeah, I mean, like, we're doing great. And you know what? And I will complain once more because I have the platform. I fucking hate tiers. I hate tiers so goddamn much. It's such a stupid
still
system.
Do not have any on Jaboy Wildseed, right?
My boy has a pair of pants that sit in my bank because I have a pair of 259 pants that are better than a solo tier pants. I just have Halandras gear, and that's it. I've taken every avenue possible to get all the tier I can, except for plugging Heroic, which I could probably do, but that sounds like a pain in my ass,
It's also rough because once you get your tier, it like isn't the most monumental thing compared to other classes.
But like my 2-set's better than no set. I mean, obviously, right? But like, it's still that. It's still not as good. But like, I had my Great Vault gave me a kind of a mean choice. Like, it was a great choice that it gave me. I had a tier shoulders, so I could have a 2-piece right now. But the other option was in an IQD, an inscrutable, is it inscrutable? An inscrutable quantum device trinket. And it was at max level, 278. There's absolutely no reason to pick 252 shoulders, 259 shoulders over a max level cube trinket. Like this.
Isn't that BIS? That's like your best thing for an agility class.
Yeah, it's like so good, and it's annoyingly good because I always have one of these fuckers. But like, I have a max level one all last season. It never dropped, and so if I skip the IQD, I know I'm gonna be fucked for the rest of the fucking season.
Yeah, I was telling Slidewhistle too. I was like, just take the IQD because like that is max level. Like you can't upgrade to that or get that from a dungeon. That needs to be from the vault. And come 2 weeks from now, if you're still unlucky for the next 2 weeks, in 2 weeks you can craft tier for yourself. So like you won't be able to craft a max level IQD, and that might not drop again in your vault. Although now that we're saying this, it's probably going to be your new like file that is in your vault every single week at max level.
And now I'll never see tier shoulders again, basically. It's a real risk game. I also was sad because I had the jailer's necklace. You know, his cute little charm necklace.
The all-consuming heart or whatnot.
The one that's like, well, I'm gonna kill Azeroth, and I'm like, I wanna like, what's the word for evil? I wanna nega heart of Azeroth.
Yeah, it was. Well, I got tier. I actually have 3.
Whoa. Okay, wait. So, what does your 2-piece do? What does your daddy do?
I was just wondering, what does your daddy do? It makes combustion 2 seconds longer, which is helpful. But I had to learn a new rotation based on it because I was really used to combustion at the beginning of a fight giving me 5 of my 7 hard pyroblast charges, but now it does all 7.
Shit.
Wow, so like that's good, but it makes you think now.
Yeah, I had to for the first day or so, I had to really reorganize because my hands were just automatically moving to different buttons, and I was like, no, it's different now.
That's weird. What does your 4-set do?
4-set makes it where I think when I use Phoenix Flames and Fire Blast, it might extend combustion.
Oh.
I think it's pretty legit. That also was the one that used to set us on fire because Ian hates us, but we all complained hard enough that it got fixed.
Burn them, the fire mages.
I don't get it. But, yeah, that's me.
Well, and then this motherfucker over here, I'm pointing to...
I was going to say, Immune, you've got one, right?
Okay, this bitch went from 0 pieces to 4 pieces in 3 days.
Fucking, excuse me?
Scab.
So it was going to be my top 2 to the week. So I will save this for later to further. Yeah, sorry guys.
Billy Elliot's dad, get out of here, scab.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. But yes, it was a good week for me and tier for both my hunter and my priest. My hunter has 2-set, which is kind of whatever right now. It I don't know. It's something about when I use kill command, something to do with frenzy or something. I don't know. It's basically if I'm doing my rotation right, I get a big DPS increase, and I'm most of the time, I mean, I know what my rotation needs to be to do it right, but most of the time I'm I want to press buttons instead of wait, so I just fuck up more of my rotation because I don't want to just sit there and auto attack like I'm supposed to sometimes.
That was me and my paladin, because my paladin also has a 3-set. Naturally, my ult is the one that's going to be getting all the shit. And before I had any tier, I had so many buttons to press. I was doing this amazing opening combo where it was the only time I'd ever do damage, but I would beat every single other person, and I'm 251 geared. This was a baby paladin. I got my tier set, my 2-piece, and it was all active buttons, make them passive. Because it just kind of makes it easier. So now I have literally 3 less buttons to press. And now I'm just eating a sandwich while playing it, and I'm sandwich class, sandwich class.
Which was your demon hunter back in the day, the namesake, Slidewhistle.
Yeah, you're a master at finding these sandwich eating classes.
Well, the big sandwich eating class over here is Mr. Immune next to me. He has the best sandwich eating class.
For Beast Hunter?
Yeah, I mean, everyone says that like BM Hunter is like the easiest one, and like sure, it really only is like I guess like a 5 spell rotation type deal, but like it's a little harder than people make it out to be. I feel like it's managing frenzy, and you need to like time when you barb shot and make sure that you keep your pet at max frenzy. Like it's not as quite as easy as people make it out to be, but I will say it is still easy, and that is why I chose it. I'm a healer main. Like don't like whatever. Like I want an easy DPS class, okay? Like
Yeah,
bite me. I don't care.
If you're gonna pick a DPS, might as well make it one that doesn't require a lot of homework.
You missed the sass. He was giving like RuPaul's Drag Race untucked. His neck was turkey wobbling. His fingers were pointing at nobody. He was giving lots of heat. I'm scared right now. He's going off.
I did see a tray of tall pink glasses just filled with with vodka, and I was like, damn, are we in the Illusion Lounge?
The Interior Illusions Lounge. Great job.
Yes, I am so sorry. The Interior Illusions Lounge. It's
Yes,
been a
we
little
are.
bit since I've since I've watched Miss Paul's show.
Listen, Aaron, you need to edit in a drag rattle a few times here, but yes, I am currently drinking a vodka cranberry as well, so yes, I am a little sassy today, but you know, I am just a little tired of people saying that BM is the easiest class in the game, and like in juxtaposition with the fact that like we're considered one of the lower DPS classes right now. Which, again, I'm just going to go on a little bit of a mini rant here. Those lists don't mean anything. All these lists of DPS numbers that people post, they're like, oh my god, BM Hunter's the worst. Oh my god, it's like in the lowest like bracket. I'm like, well, okay, are you in a 95th percentile mythic cutting edge guild? No, you're not. And you never will be. So, like, whatever. Like, I am currently always at least in the top 3 DPS in my guild when I'm on my BM Hunter. So, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, if that is a spec class that you personally like the most, play it. Like, just whatever. I'm tired of those people.
And I will say, my Feral Druid buffs, I feel pretty fucking good right now. My AoE has been super increased. We did some Mythic Pluses. I've been doing them, like, against my health. I've been like, we finish raid and then we do a key. So I'm going to bed at like 12 and I'm like, I gotta be up in like 4 hours. What am I doing? And I'm pumping again. Like I'm doing just like bleeds all around. It's great.
You know what's funny though? In those dungeons, in that dungeon last night, Ahoy, as a Guardian Druid, did more damage than all of the DPS. He did more DPS than all the DPS. And I'm like, and this is at post-Guardian Druid nerf? What, like, Blizzard, what is this?
He did like 10.6, I did 10.5, like, but like he still beat me. And I'm like, what the fuck? There were polls where this man was at 50k DPS. And I'm like, I've never seen it get that high ever. Like, what the fuck?
It doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, like, I'm glad because, like, I don't know, as a Holy Priest and I was Venthyr because I thought we needed a Venthyr because it was the Halls, but I guess we didn't because I guess Ahoy was Venthyr, so I could have gone Kyrian. But, like, I don't do that much damage in that setup, so I was, like, glad that, like, literally all 4 of you guys were doing plus 10k DPS overall in the dungeon, so...
Crazy shit. So, okay, so this is interesting and also makes me a little sad, but also a little excited. They have updated the accessibility updates, which you can, like, so, like, people who have, like, disabilities or have diseases or motion sickness can play the game better. And they've updated Grimrow Depot and Maw of Souls, which is interesting, to where in 925, there will be a vendor in the corner that you can buy this potion from, and this potion will basically make it so that your motion sickness, if you have that problem, will be easier. So basically what it does on Grimrow Depot, when you're going to the train, you know how like you can see like the visuals on the side, like running past.
Yeah, you're physically moving through a canyon.
So the potion basically puts like a big shield around the train so it blocks the outside so you don't see it moving past you. And so it blocks it to make it easier for, I guess this is a huge problem. The comments were overwhelmingly like, thank God, I would get sick on this map. And I was like, oh my God, that's a problem? That sounds horrible because this thing has come up so many times.
I notice it every time because I like when you said this, I was like, oh yeah, I guess like the background does move there and you see it, but like I guess I'm thankful that like I've never experienced motion sickness in World of Warcraft. So
I never even think about that stuff. It makes me think of, this is a short tangent, Street Fighter 4 had to ban a stage that took place in a volcano because everything was the color red, and colorblind people were like, I cannot see the screen. And I was like, damn, as an abled person, I really don't think of that. So hats off to them.
I was trying to figure out where it was in Maw of Souls, and I was like, it has to be on the last boss. But like, what about it? And
doesn't the ship move when you get to like the third and fourth boss? Aren't you going through like a tunnel of souls?
Yeah, and then even on the Helya boss, I think the water and everything outside is moving, right?
I've never really paid attention to, but yeah, there's big tornadoes in the distance that are spinning and going off. But then once you take the potion, it freezes the landscape, so it's just a still image instead of it moving around. Which is, I mean, this is great. Like, if this is a problem, then it's been solved. The tentacles still kind of move, which I think may kind of still attribute, but they know what they're doing.
Yeah, no, because I didn't realize this until I looked over at Slide's screen as well, that, like, the big thing at the end boss is that the ship is going, like, up and down with the waves. So, like, if you look at all of the exterior, like, it's all moving up and down. So, like, you might get the seasick thing, I guess, which I have noticed in the past, but I guess luckily I've never felt that way.
So this is fantastic. But the fact that they added this is kind of weird. You know what I mean? Because, okay, so this means that Grimo Depot has won, right? The vote, I assume.
Yeah.
But Maw of Souls being updated is interesting because it's not currently involved in anything.
I have a theory, but whenever anyone says, I just think of Bunny the dog on TikTok pressing that one button to enter questions, and it's like, Bunny want Maw of Souls in Mythic Plus Season 4.
Is that shit real? I mean, I think that shit is real, which is terrifying. That dog is talking
through buttons.
Yeah, there's like this dog has like literally, I'm not even kidding, like 200 buttons. How the fuck can it find the same goddamn button that it wants? I couldn't do that as a human.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't memorize them. I can read, so I would just know which ones to pick. But like, I would. Anyways, I think that them including Maw of Souls in this, I think it soft confirms that maybe in every Mythic Plus season in the future of Lightlands or whatever, they might do this thing where like the season is like 8 dungeons that are current, 6 whatever, and then 2 past ones that rotate every season, maybe.
That would be so cool, and like it's so great for the dev team because like they can give us quote unquote more content. I'm doing air quotes while just reusing old assets. Like, who cares if we have 8 new dungeons and then we get 2 to 4 old ones? That's great. That's cool.
I agree.
I'm just thinking of, and I guess literally every dungeon could be this, but I will say, I hope they extend it to all of the expansions. I want to run Maw of Souls and be like, what did you get? Oh, I got the Throne of the Winds key. Like, just let us do them all. Just make it fucking weird.
That would be crazy. But then I also know that they've said a lot of their dungeons aren't Mythic Plus applicable because of how the trash packs are laid out. Because a big thing in Mythic Plus is making sure that you get the right amount of trash, and they didn't account for any of that before Legion. WoD had a little bit, but...
Can you imagine a Mythic Plus Storm and Stockade? You roll up and it's like 6 minutes, go.
You know that, like... I mean, they could probably do that, though, is a thing. Because, like... you obviously have to kill all the trash that are in the hallways going, like, left and right to the other bosses you have to kill. But you know that there's going to be some, like, min-maxing people that are like, okay, we're going to pull this cell block over here because they're easier to kill, and it's the same percentage as that annoying mob of trash up there, and then we're going to shroud past them to Hogger.
Alright, gang. We have 3 hours and 45 minutes to complete Serpent Shrine Cavern. Let's go!
Jesus.
And that's being generous.
Is that the one where you also have to go back and wake up the sleeper?
Gnaralex. Gnaralex.
Naramune.
Nar.
Nar.
What is
Naru?
What is he up to these days? Because he was in Legion. Gnaralex was. I will do some research right now. Oh, Wailing Caverns. Wait, no. Gnaralex is Wailing Caverns.
Yeah, Wailing
That's
Caverns
what I meant to
is different
say.
from Serpent Shrine Caverns, which is different from Poison Cat. There was a lot of holes in the ground we were doing back then.
Serpent Shrine Caverns is the one with just like that nasty little guy in the pool of water that comes up at the end. Is that the wrong dungeon?
That's the same. Oh, wait. No, yeah, that's a different one. Yeah, there's just like a phlegm, faceless one in the water. You hit him and he's like, oh, you better not have.
Wait, which one was the one where the last boss was, as Slide was saying, in a pool of water where everyone was like, okay, we're going to stand along the sides, or like Death Knights were like, I'm going to like give everyone water walking and make them come up to us.
I believe that was Serpent Shrine, because Wailing Caverns, I actually don't know what the last boss was, but that was the one with Gnaralex.
We're really showing our balls on stream now. Serpent Shrine
It's
Cavern.
It's old, and when we leveled, they all happened at the same time.
Yeah, this is why we don't know anything. Serpent Shrine Cavern is the one that we have done probably the least amount ever, because Lady Vash is the end boss, and I'm pretty sure Serpent Shrine Cavern has not been in any time walking. So you have to go out there and do it
Isn't that
yourself.
a raid? With Lady Vash being the fight,
Oh,
that's
that
a
is
raid, right?
So you see what I mean? It is indeed a raid. This whole goof is for nothing because Serpent Shrine Cavern's not even a dungeon. It's only got 1, 2, 3. It's got 5 bosses in it. How is this a raid?
Because the sixth one is the guy you fish up, which you can now find in Maldrix's.
Oh, that's interesting, because Lady Vash is there.
Yeah, she straight up says, like, yes, the lurker in the water is here. Don't beat him up. He's my friend. And you can't, but she just hangs out with him.
Okay, well, we meant the other one that I said. Who cares? Old is old. I am new.
Well, I don't know if we're new, but we're newer. As I feel like has become like increasingly apparent since we've started this podcast, we are no longer Babby, guys.
No, we are not Babby.
But what is Babby is this new epilogue series of quests and cutscenes, in-game cutscenes that we've gotten over this last week in the Shadowlands. So I feel like we should talk about those. It's basically about what Arbiter Pelagos decides to do for Sylvanas' judgment.
You mean the Pelgarbiter. Please get it right.
Yeah, please use his proper name.
The Pelgarbiter has decided.
I will say, I have yet to finish the storyline. I think
Come on.
they're all still gathered waiting for me to talk to them.
Okay, I will say that Slidewhistle, I'm like, okay, first off, I want to say, this quest line literally, Aaron, what, it took you like 20 minutes? Like, it's pretty
20,
fast.
if even. It's the entirety of it is in Ouroboros, and then you go up to the Ouroboros circle, the Arbiters, it's like 5 minutes. The longest part was the walk you already did.
Okay, so, well, anyways, he was in a queue for LFR to try to get his tier set or something, and then it popped during it, and then he went off to do that, and then he never finished it, but anyways, I thought that it was a cool throwback where, maybe I'm the only one who saw it this way, maybe it wasn't actually intended to be this way, but anyways, you like are tasked with walking with Uther and Sylvanas to bring her up to the Pelarbiter? Is that what?
Pelgarbiter.
Yeah, come on, Pelgarbiter. Like Garfield,
Cadgar.
his favorite character.
Okay, so you are tasked with bringing Sylvanas with Uther up to the Pelgarbiter's chambers. And you walk through Oribos's, like, center area, and there are a bunch of, like, souls and people from all the four covenants that are around that are, like, booing her, heckling her. It gave serious, like, Death Knight intro quest line vibes to me.
They were yelling some mean shit. I tried to stop there and listen, and it was like, whore, rah, rah. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a whore?
Well, I think if anything, that was the orc saying, like, you betrayed the whore.
No, it was whore. They said
you
whores.
slut.
Also, I did finish it. I realized I did finish it. After my LFR, I was like, what's happening? But I didn't talk to every NPC standing around the fucking portal. Ugh.
Well, I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that on my hunter because I only did this on my priest. But anyways, I liked the walk with Sylvanas. I thought it was especially cool that, as Aaron said, that like there was an orc soul that said like, "Wow, how could you betray the horde like this?" But there were also night elf souls, and because Slidewhistle was like, "Why do any of these like Covenant like Shadowlands people care about what she did?" And I was like, "Well, I'm pretty sure those night elf souls care because they were literally burned to death because Growlina couldn't save them."
Come on.
Growlina left them to turn to ash. One of them said that. One of them said that. Growlina left us here.
Growlina gave them a big check. She left it on the base of burnt down Teldrassil. Her conscience is clean.
Well, anyways, so do you have anything else to say, Slide?
I was going to say how cool it was. So, like, obviously, the minute it's like, Sylvanas will now walk to her judgment, you know I pressed slash on my keyboard, and you know I RP walked, and I tried to spit on Sylvanas as we walked through. I was like, come on, Night Elves, let's fucking get her! And so when I walked her to the very end, I was like, man, Sylvanas, what is this outfit you're wearing? And because when you're in Oribos, it zones you when you're in this thing. I'm an auction mount to try to sell something, and because it was phase, it kicked my turtles out. Like, I could not vendor anything. I couldn't transmog on my yak. But if anybody in the vicinity talked and /say, I could see it still. Because the exact area I was standing in, I was staring at Sylvanas, and I was like, that's an ugly outfit. And some stranger in /say came up and said, you look ugly. Oh. And I was like, oh my god, I don't see them here. It's gotta be about Sylvanas. So she was getting double dragged at the same time.
Or like the actual people in Oribos saw you moving, but you didn't see them or something.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you saying that I look ugly in World of Warcraft? Because I do not. I am wearing a single set with a cool back.
No, I know. I'm acknowledging that you look good, but I'm saying that if they heard you say that, that might be their response because they felt offended.
I said it out loud in my room. I didn't type it. I said it.
They were there behind you. You didn't go out to the kitchen and see 3 random dudes on laptops.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you said it in /say at Sylvanas because we do that shit too. Like
that's true. I said it out loud to myself. I said it to you, I think, and then someone said, you're ugly. And I was like, oh, get her. I hope that was to her.
Gotcha. Okay, so anyways, we bring Sylvanas up to the Pelgarbiter, and then we get the first in-game cinematic, where I don't know, this is his first day on the job, I guess. Like, y'all think he kind of copped out here?
Okay, I will say, for his first judgment, I think he was given quite a big case to like deal out, but also I don't know if he made the right choice. You know what I mean?
The whole thing was he was just like, I don't know this bitch. I ain't know her, but you know who do? Tyrande Whisperwind.
Well, he didn't even name drop her though. He basically was like, Sylvanas, you know who needs to judge you and assign you your punishment for your sins. And then she decided it was Tyrande.
Because he was like, I don't know anybody here. I assume you could tell me.
Yeah, it's not great narratively. Complete mind wipe when I came in here. This blue bitch keeps floating around with her wings. I don't know her. Says we were friends. Don't remember.
This, I will say that this gave me Legion vibes. So this reminded me of when Tyrande came to free Illidan from Maev's care. Maev was taking care of Illidan. She's like, I will watch Illidan. I will be the one who decides his fate. And Tyrande said, I'm going to kill your guards, Maev. And I'm going to free my ex-fling for this. And now all of a sudden you flip-flop it. And Tyrande is now the quote-unquote keeper of a prisoner. Much like Illidan is now the keeper, quote-unquote, of Sargeras. It's kind of weird and kind of cool.
I feel like these last few weeks in the Shadowlands have drawn really cool parallels to Legion, to Wrath. Like, it's been cool to see, I think. But yes, as Slide said, Tyrande is... Well, okay, I guess first, like, then the Pelg Arbiter is like, does anyone object to Tyrande doling out Sylvanas' punishment? And then it does, like, these zoom-ins of, like, everyone, and you see Anduin, like, look down, like, I'm not gonna say anything here.
I would like to imagine that every Horde player is like, yes, I object! Yes, don't give it to her! And I'm like, yeah, bitch, Tyrande, let's fucking execute this hoe!
I also want to say that Tyrande's dump truck made another appearance. Okay, but, like, before that, yes. Tyrande is a badass bitch. She, like, comes up and she immediately just, like, holds up her glaive to Sylvanas' neck, and she's like, why shouldn't I kill you?
Also, the in-game cinematics, for the first time ever, looked so good. They
really put their whole Pelgussy into these last few ones, like the Clea and Pelagos one. And then this one, too, as Tyrande was talking, they were putting some serious work into that.
I was just like, how do they in-game make these expressions and these words line up so well?
Like, her face snarls, like, everything, like, Tyrande looked so good. And the minute I saw her and, what's the other one's name? Her second in command.
Chandris
Feathermoon. I stood next to them and I was like, hey, Night Elves, we're the only ones here. Let's kill this bitch.
And I was like, where do I stand? There's no other Drain Knight here. And then Slide was like, here are your people over here. And he walked over to, like, the Venthyr that weren't even named. And I'm like, I guess.
That's Grimbles. That's Eric Grimbles. He died, and now he is a Venthyr.
I've done a lot of bad things in my life that I need to atone for.
The way he talked about Bethany, you know? I don't
know. I did a lot of sex stuff on Bethany. They're gonna have to real whip and chains me for a while there.
I feel like he'd probably like that. But anyways, Tyrande takes off Sylvanas, like, down to the part where you can jump into the mall and decides what her ultimate punishment is. And then you walk down there. This is basically all the quest is, right? Like, literally you just walk downstairs and then you, like, go to them and then you get another cutscene.
Okay, and I will say, I find it very weird that Tyrande was like, okay, Sylvanas, you are in my stead, and you will pick up all of the souls of the mall of who you killed from my people. All of them will be sorted. But also, I'm going to have my pet owl, Dorashan, or whatever, watch you.
Okay, as a night elf man, as a druid, Dorasher, is this like, oh, not Dorasher?
Yeah.
Or is it... Oh, it's an important guy?
That's her main bitch. She uses that owl for everything. You see it in the Legion cinematics. The owl is there flying with Malfurion when he fights Sylvanas.
I believe it's also in the cinematic where she kills Nathanos. Anyways, this owl is a big deal. It's like her main attack in Heroes of the Storm too. I know that's like not the same, but like, you know what I mean.
I do remember that as an ability in HOTS. So I was like, oh yeah, it's the HOTS owl.
But like, I don't know. It'd be like me. Oh, maybe this isn't like proper because I'd be like, yeah, fuck Boron. It'd be like me banishing Boron to the mall, and I'd be like, yeah, I basically already did that. But
can you imagine Sylvanas is like, I've collected 10 souls. I'm going to leave. It's actually pretty easy because Boron's an idiot. He fell off the cliff.
No, see, because that would be hilarious. Brian is a fucking moron. But Dorashan, or whatever his name is, I feel like it's mentioned in like almost every single aspect of Tyranda's existence. Like it's always there. What is the owl going to eat in the maw? There's nothing to eat there. The owl's gonna starve.
Like, I don't think that mall rats would provide much sustenance for this owl, but I could be wrong. Either way, I feel like I feel like it's kind of mean, like banishing your pet owl. It'd be like Harry Potter in like being like, oh, Hedwig, I'm sending you down there. I mean, I know Hedwig died, but like, you know what I mean.
This should have been a subject for Azeroth's DNR to discuss, and it seems like a big missed opportunity.
And now they're canceled. They split to the 3 directions. One of them is an Eridar Lord now.
I heard they got renewed for a second episode on DNR After Dark at DoNotRelent.com. Oh, wait, Patreon.com/Do Not Relent. Right?
That is correct.
Yeah!
Also, and this is my thing, and it's unfair, because, like, whatever, but it's like, Sylvanas, you have to go through every single bit of the maw and find every soul. One, was the maw that we saw all the maw? Because it's really not that big. Like, it's big, but that shit's going to take her maybe like a month.
That's what I was wondering too. I'm like, okay, so this writes her out of the story for a while, maybe an expansion, but it definitely leaves it open for her to come back. I mean, because like I'm like, I don't know, like the 3 of us collected souls every week for a while. I feel like this probably wouldn't take her that long. I mean, do we have official numbers about like what Teldrassil's population would be? And also,
yes.
if Sylvanas can only collect like what 25 souls a week.
Also, you know she's not going to just jump in there and automatically max out her souls every week. You know she's going to take her time. She's going to be like, I'm sad. I'm banished. My family. Also, it seems like, according to... I typed in, how many died in Teldrassil? The top result comes from a random person on gamingsection.net who says, I'd say Sylvanas killed around 15 to 20,000 night elves, plus around 500 to 700 humans, and a couple of high elves. So according to this random stranger who paid for an ad on Google, that's how many she killed.
Also, not a single Worgen, I guess. We all managed to escape.
Well, maybe they were counting humans, because, like, Gilneans...
That's fucked up. Fuck you, that
well,
guy.
Gilneans are
like,
humans,
you guys
are they not?
technically humans.
Okay, this is...
I can directly contradict you, sir, because I saw those furry guys on fire dying. They did not change back.
That's interesting, though, because... Now, is this new debate? Are all Gilneans humans? I would say they are, right? No one's a Worgen permanently, except for the ones that are, but then they're not counted.
So are they Gilnean humans with a Worgen curse then?
Because werewolves inherently are human based that turn into wolves. So
and what I will say is they were burning to death. They were waving their hands as wolves. So I feel like there were Gilneans there. I saw them on fire. But there were distinct ones who were like, this is me, the big wolf. This is what I choose to identify as.
But do you think dying as a Worgen... Do you think dying in your Worgen form makes you any less of a Gilnean human?
Like when you go to the afterlife, you're only ever a human. I guess that's true because you wouldn't carry the curse with you in death.
Right.
It's just sort of like a that plain thing.
I've never thought about it this way, but I guess Worgens are just humans. Worgens are just humans.
Don't you have a chance to go to the Emerald Dream, being like a creature connected to the dream?
Okay, so slap me if I'm wrong here, but like, are Worgens just like human druid types then?
Yeah, I guess they You can, because Celestine does it all the time, you can do druid stuff as just a Gilnean. So technically you're just a human who knows magic, and you can choose to be this other thing.
Okay, I found a Reddit post from 3 years ago from r/World of Warcraft lore, which I did not know exist. Warcraft lore. Worgen are humans cursed to be beast men, or beast women, or beast non-enemies, who can only reassume...
A good old beast, but non-binary.
Who can only assume their human forms while they look the part they are still Worgen. The quest, called Neither Human Nor Beast, points towards Worgen not being human nor beast, but something in between. I mean, I feel like default, you're still kind of human. You're just human. You're a spicy human with, a disease. You know what I mean? You're gonna wolf disease.
I guess. So this is what I will say is, when you get bit and you go crazy, you're a wolf. And you learn to become a Gilnean, so it's almost like your human form is your mask. Like, if you release control of your mind, you go back into a wolf. So maybe that's what they're saying?
Okay, BattleNub89 has a lot of good points here. A Worgen is a cursed human. Thus, they are both human and giant furry monsters. Wow, I didn't say it. BattleNub89 said it.
Well, thanks, BattleNub.
I don't think it's accurate to create an exclusivity between their forms. They're a combination of both. An argument for the Worgen identity would be that they exhibit symptoms of their curse even in human form. Intensified emotions, intensified rage, a compulsion to hunt and be in the wild. On the flip side, if two Worgens conceive a child, that child is a human, and they have a hyperlink here. So obviously, at a genetic level, they are still human, and their Worgen state is purely magical. Oh my god, this is a lot to take in.
What's the hyperlink there?
Is it just Worgen sex?
It links to Ask a Dev, a wiki where people have asked devs questions. And so I'm looking at it's a big list of a lot of questions. So I will have to control F Worgen while you guys discuss what it means to be a Worgen.
Okay, so that's very interesting, but I feel like it could answer the question here that the Worgen thing could, I guess, just be a curse, as opposed to being what you are, as a biological level. I don't know.
Okay, I found it. Somebody asks a dev, why are humans who drink the blood of Worgen unable to be raised as Forsaken? And they answer, not only are the Valkyr less powerful than the Lich King when it comes to raising the undead, but the Worgen curse also makes raising them into undeath far more difficult than it is for normal humans. The Worgen curse has roots in both the Emerald Dream through the Wolf Ancient Goldrin, and the holy power of the goddess Elune. In addition, those Worgen who imbibe the waters of Tal'Darim through the ritual they undergo to maintain balance between the Worgen curse and their humanity have a further resistance to the corruption of undeath. So they're in between.
Huh. I did not expect to get learnt about my people this day. Thank you, long series of questions.
Can Worgen reproduce naturally or only through a bite or blood? Would their child be a Worgen or not? The Worgen curse is exactly that, a curse. Its origins are rooted in the druidic pack form that was altered by the Scythe of the Loon. The end result is the word. I think it kind of sounds like they're humans. And it's just a curse that they have on them. Like our girl, Tess Greymane, did not want inside of her.
Well, thank you, everyone. You've proven that I'm just a human with issues. Something that I desperately did not want to be.
I mean, I still don't want to admit or acknowledge Susan, though, so I think we can have our own little bubble here.
Just like the people on Grimrail Depot. We brought it full circle.
Whoop whoop. And now it's time for our top two bottom boot medium mood. Amin, what do you got for us this week?
Well, I got myself a top 2, as I alluded to earlier in the episode, baby. Up until this week, I was very unlucky with my tier. I got no drops on either of my characters in Raid or in the Vault, but this week on my Priest went from 0 to 4 set in, I believe, 3 or 4 days. So what had happened was is that I got, I believe, one piece dropped for me in Raid with Dogs with Jobs. Another piece was traded to me in Dogs with Jobs. And then I got a piece from my vault last week. And then this upcoming week, I took a piece from my vault. So, like, they raid on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday. So, like, Saturday to Tuesday, I went from 0 to 4 set, which is crazy to me.
Dang.
Yeah, so there I am now, and it's like bussin', and I'm excited about it, and I feel like it actually has also changed my play style, which is interesting. It makes it so that, like, whenever I cast a holy word, then my next holy word affecting spell does a lot more whatever it does. So, like, in Mythic Plus, I could have, like, really, really big smites if I want, or in Raid, I could have, like, really bigger heals even, and then either way, this whole situation makes it so that in Raid, my Holy Word Salvation goes from being, like, it's 12-minute cooldown, which it never really is, to, like, less than 5 minutes, probably even. It makes a big difference in Raid, and then also makes a big difference in Mythic Plus, where my smites make a lot more damage as well. So I feel like it's a big deal on my Priest. And then on my Hunter, I also have a 2 set now, because I got 1 piece in Raid and 1 piece from my Vault. So yeah, I went from 0 pieces to 6 this week, so that's a big top 2 from me. But Slidewhistle, what do you got?
I got a big old top 2 this week.
Ooh, double 2.
2.
My 2 is the Sylvanas book has finally released, and after it's been pushed back like 3 to 4 times by the publisher, by Blizzard. I've been audiobooking it, and it's been such a good experience. It's voice acted by Sylvanas' voice actor. It was a little bit boring in the first couple chapters because I don't care about high elves as much.
It got pretty intense pretty quick. I'll say that. I was just like, this is really boring, and then it's just like, little Lady Moon. I was like, oh sure.
This should jump, and I'm kind of mad at Chrissy Golden because I don't ever want to feel sorry for Sylvanas. But, I kind of do now, after reading this book and what she exactly, detailing how she felt as she went through this entire list of things that we have known her entire career throughout this entire game, but we have never really known how she felt personally. You know what I mean? And it details how when she's mind-controlled and when she kills the people of Quel'Thalas, there's a lot to it, and it's kind of deep and, cuts hard. It's really good.
That's interesting, too, because, when you pair that with what we learned about Sylvanas this week in the epilogue of the Shadowlands, chapter, I don't know. I feel like it maybe just her being banished to the Maw to repent for herself is the proper thing to have been done, actually.
I definitely will agree, because it's very clear that she is not completely innocent in all of her actions. But just hearing what she had to go through, in such detail, it's just been a really good audio experience. The music is so fucking bomb. I'm excited to read the book after I've audiobooked it. I'm just really pumped for this book. Next week, I think we're gonna have a book club for you guys, because this is gonna be a good book. What about you, Aaron? What's your top 2 bottom boot, medium boot?
Well, I have to complete the triple and have myself a top 2.
Triple toot!
Toot toot toot!
I enjoy that. So after the epilogue, after Sylvanas does a big flip into the Maw, a bunch of world leaders randomly come in through the portal to sort of chat with the world leaders that were in the Shadowlands. And my friend and Zaddy, Gunnathan Greymane shows up to talk to Anduin, but he's got some real spice for the Horde, and considering that we're about to hold hands with them and become big friends, I'm glad someone's still keeping the heat. One of his things is Lorthamar comes up to him and it's just like, oh my god, that Sylvanas is not the Sylvanas I knew. I used to love and hang out with her, but she hasn't been nice for a long time. And all he has to say is just like, well, then why'd you follow her orders? And Lorthamar's like, boo! And he has to go walk over and be like, Gen was mean.
Which is a funny truth because, like, yeah, like, as the book details, like, it really shows how close they grew up together. And then, he became a blood elf. And then she became leader of the Horde. Which is funny. Did you know that orcs killed their parents? I didn't know that.
I knew nothing about that, no. I mean, it makes sense considering the High Elves were alliance.
She cursed the Horde and then joined them as... That's the part that I haven't gotten to this point in the book yet.
With the sheer anger was like, those disgusting green monsters. Wait, no, they're even more vile than monsters. I was like, them's your boys in like a year here.
I will say, though, even when she was the chieftain of the Horde or whatever it's called, she was always just like, I'm doing this for my undead. Like for the people that have always been my people, as opposed to like the greater Horde, I guess. She always had her allegiances within the Horde.
This is a really good book. You guys gotta read this before next week, please, because I never thought I would appreciate Sylvanas and Nathanos' relationship, but I do. She loves him. She said so. It's confirmed, and that is what I was like, oh my god, they're not just like tax co-workers.
Wait, so you're saying that when she was talking, with that one cutscene when she's talking with the jailer or something, maybe she wasn't talking with the jailer, but it was in the Shadowlands when she's like cuts herself off, and then everyone was like, oh wait, is she talking about love? And everyone's like, is it about her sisters? So it's actually about Nathanos, you think, then?
Very possible. Very possible. She loves her family just as much, but like Nathanos, Chrissy did a really good job covering their like co-worker / relationship, and it was...
I'm excited to read and or listen to it.
But the final thing, and it's a real quick one too, is you can talk to them as different people. And apparently if you're a part of the Horde and you talk to Greymane, he just kind of turns around, spits at you, and goes, I refuse to believe your fallen war chief even feels the slightest remorse for her crimes.
Yes!
When will she answer for what she did to my people, to my son? You have much to answer for as well. And I was like, yeah! My boy again did not forget. He was just like, just because Ian says we have to kiss each other doesn't mean I wanna.
Justice for Liam Greymane!
Justice for Liam, even though he turned into a pretty bitchin' Hearthstone card. When you kill him, he just becomes another ghost.
Listen, this is just Gen's Worgen curse talking. He's off the handle, even when he's in his human form, because of the curse.
He needs to drink the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
The water.
To calm down again. You know who else has been drinking deep of the waters of Lake Minnetonka? Our patrons, including friend of the pod Tajurla, fourth host of the podcast Your Monkey, Ahoy Vince, aka Nathanos, killed himself to see Sylvanas, and she will now pick up the phone. Insync / Drag Race, Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, Adorno, Blornblow, Gershom, who says she knows Fleshlight, and you're Fleshlight. Hoax, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Vanderlyle, who asks you to check out projecthope.org and support any of the worthwhile causes that they are raising funds for. And Will, a.k.a. Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
And with that, we are out of here. If you have any comments, questions, complaints, send us an email at donotRelentPod@gmail.com. Join our Discord at donotRelent.com. Hop in. Oh, Adorno's bringing the hot memes. He's got a Mr. Bean one he just made Thursday night waiting for the end of our episode. And it's Mr. Bean waiting. Love it. Mwah. Kisses. What about you guys? Where can I find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on the Twitter at New Era Alex, or you can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at the Big Cheesy on Twitter.com. Read the show's literary musings at donotRelent.livejournal.com. And catch me playing Videograms at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
It is time for us to leave. And
Just kidding. We're never stopping. Pranked you again.
It's time for DNR Azeroth's channel. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.